Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. T, a video series designed to make conversations about mental health and addiction more approachable, practical, and human. Hosted by Dr. Tammy Malloy, CEO of Futures Recovery Healthcare in Tequesta, Florida, an experienced clinician and behavioral health leader. This series offers grounded insight into the real questions people are navigating today, both personally and professionally. In each episode, Dr. T shares thoughtful perspectives on current trends and day-to-day challenges in mental health and addiction, how we build resilience in the midst of stress and uncertainty, and what small intentional steps can support long-term wellness. So grab a cup of your favorite tea or coffee, take a breath, and join Dr. T for bite-sized conversations designed to inform, encourage, and help you feel more confident as you navigate your wellness journey.
Today we're going to be discussing when depression becomes higher risk. So in looking at sadness and what that looks like, and then going down the rabbit hole into depression, and that's actually how it can feel, is that you're in this very, very dark place, this dark hole that not even you can understand. And sometimes that place does get dark. A lot of people have it in their minds that when someone's depressed, it's going to be obvious. Not be taking care of themselves, not going to work, calling out sick a lot, withdrawing, some of the things that we've talked about previously. But really, it can look like me right now. It can look like somebody that is engaged for the most part, talking to their friends just enough, but really inside what they're doing is possibly even planning their exit. And then that's a very scary place to be. When somebody gets to the place where they don't feel hope anymore, where they completely feel hopeless, and that the only out is to not be here anymore. And, that's a place that major depression can go to. And we'd like to think that those of us that get into that place are going to reach out to somebody. A lot of times that doesn't happen. And those that do voice their concerns or do say, hey, listen, I'm having some thoughts that it would be better off if I'm not here. I just can't feel like this anymore. And maybe they're not exactly saying that. Maybe they're saying something like, you know what, sometimes I just I don't even want to get out of bed, or I don't even want to wake up, or the world would be better off if I wasn't in it, or I can't take this one more day. Then we've got to dig a little deeper. And that person really does need professional help. Because if someone gets really into that dark place where they feel like their only way out is to not be here anymore, then it's time for them to seek professional help and possibly get on some sort of medication that can help them. And there's also another player in this called anxiety. And there's two different types of anxiety. So there's state anxiety, which kind of looks like in the moment I'm starting a new job, or right before I started filming this today, I got really anxious and, my heart was racing and maybe my palms were a little sweaty. And then you've got trait anxiety. And trait anxiety is generally an anxiety that has lasted predominantly your entire life. Could have started at a super young age, to where you are diagnosed with some type of anxiety disorder, or maybe you haven't been, but you've been experiencing it your whole life. And sometimes that can even manifest physically with rashes on your body, your knees, your elbows, cardio issues, things like that, headaches. And anxiety too can play a part in feeding the depression, especially with those consistent obsessive thoughts that go on in our heads where we can't get it out. And that also can be debilitating and almost freeze us to a degree. And so when we're looking at something like that, again, professional help, whether it's for yourself or for a loved one, is definitely recommended in order to get the proper assessments that are needed. And some of the things that, we do too at Futures Recovery Healthcare is assess thoroughly when we get someone coming in. And I have to say that sometimes we get individuals coming in that don't even mention depression, don't even mention anxiety. And then when we're doing the assessments, we're like, wow, either depression is very high risk or their anxiety scores are super high. So again, I think that it's important to recognize in yourself or even in your loved ones if you're struggling to the point where you don't know that you want to go on another day. And there are a lot of great professionals out there that can help you. And I know sometimes it's scary, getting vulnerable with someone and opening up and saying, listen, I need help. But please know that we're here to support you, and there are so many other than us that are here to support you, and you don't have to be in this alone. Thank you for joining me today with Tea Time with Dr. T. And remember, it's important, whether you drink tea or not, to take time for yourself each and every day.